So I've been seeing a lot of different jobs posted on Upwork asking for ClickUp automations in n8n. So I decided to make this video for you guys here today, whether you're trying to go into freelancing or if you're a business owner and use ClickUp. This video is going to cover how to set up ClickUp within n8n. We're going to go over two very basic workflows, one being automated onboarding, another one being transcript extraction into specific tasks. Then we're also going to cover the trigger and tools that you could set up within AI agents. And if you want the JSON from this video, which is essentially all the workflows and also the notes, it's going to be linked in my school community, so you could grab that there. And as an extra bonus for you guys, at the end of this video, we're going to build together a homework/challenge project, so that way you can reiterate the skills that I'm teaching you in this video. I'll review your workflow as well if you post it in our group. All right, let's jump right into it. So essentially what we have over here is our setup, and just go over here and let me show you how we could build this out. So first thing what we're going to do is find ClickUp. So just go over here to the right and search ClickUp. You'll see there's the tool, which is going to be for our AI agent. And then you'll see that there's ClickUp on this side of things. And you can see there's 57 different actions. Normally in videos, I'll try to cover all the nuances involved around nodes, but there's no way I'm going to cover 57 different actions in a video. That's going to be like 3 hours. A lot of it is repetitive. So you can see we could have actions based around checklists, checklist items, comments, folders, goals, goal key results, list actions, space tags, task actions, task dependencies, task list items, task tag actions, time entry actions, and then time entry tag actions. So a lot going on over here, and every workflow is going to be a little bit different on how we want to particularly involve these specific nodes. Again, there's 57 over here, no shot that I'm going to cover them all. But before we even jump into some of these, you're going to have to set this up directly in n8n. And you might be wondering, how do I do that? And this process has actually changed a little bit over the last year. So what we're going to do is set up 3.0. And the docs, you can find them right over here. Actually, just to give you guys a little bit of context, nodes, if you're not familiar how to set these up, they have really good documentation within n8n. So you can just click on this. And you'll see it says ClickUp node. I use the ClickUp node, automate workflows in ClickUp, integrate ClickUp and other applications. Right, we have all of this across the board. You have some operations. I don't know if this is always up to date with others. And then they have different templates that use ClickUp and what to do if operation isn't supported. So you'll have to set up an HTTP request. I have a lot of different videos covering the HTTP request. We're not going to set that up in this video, but we'll use the native node just because there's so much already in over here. So what we're going to do is set this up first. And what we're going to want to do is go on here, and you won't have anything here your first time using this. So what we're going to do is create a new credential. And then it'll say, need help filling out these fields, open up docs. So I'd recommend you click on that, and it has ClickUp credentials, and it says you can use these credentials to authenticate to the following nodes. So this is pretty easy. It says to configure this credential, you need a ClickUp account and a personal API access token. You have the OAuth over here as well. And yeah, so let's set this up directly. So what we're going to do is use this one over here, ClickUp personal token documentation. And then you'll see that we have this over here as a personal token. So what we want to do is first log into ClickUp, and I'll show you where this is directly at. So I'm going to go over there and go to clickup.com. Okay, so we're in, and let's log in. Now I already have an account that I just built for demo purposes today. So I'm just going to continue with this. I'd highly recommend if you're an organization to set up SSO, but out of the gate, we're just going to use that on there. Okay, great. So following the guidelines, what we're going to do is go back over here, log into ClickUp, avatar and settings. So we just go there, and then we're going to go into our settings side of it. All right, so I'm on my settings. The first thing what we're going to do is look for apps. So my mic might be in the way a little bit, but it's all the way down over here. And then you'll see we have an API token over here. So what we're going to want to do is generate an API token. Now I've already copied mine. So it says regenerate the API token to enable copying, but you're going to essentially go over here, click on access token, and then paste in this access token over there. And that is how you're going to be set up. I'm going to close out of this. And you can see if I go back into my account over here, I have an access token and it says connection tested successfully. So it's pretty straightforward. All you need to do is get that access token and you can see the steps: settings, click apps, use generate or regenerate. You'll need to sign your ClickUp account in order to regenerate and copy that personal access token to your thing. Personal tokens never expire. So all you have to do is paste it in over there. You'll see connection tested successfully, and it's done like that. And you should be ready to go. And once you are, we can move on to our first part. So we've already kind of talked about some of the different common nodes associated with it. There's a lot that's going on within ClickUp. So just wanted to quickly show you some of the different areas. So your workspace is kind of the company. The space you could define as your departments. You have folders within lists, and then you have tasks within subtasks. So for example, you could have a fintech company. You could have the compliance department, which involves a risk department, and then there's yearly reviews on risk accounts. So this could be one example of how this is set up. Every company is going to be a little bit different how they want to specifically use ClickUp, but this would just be a very broad example. I can see it being very popular just to go over here and create a task or create a folder. And again, there's 57 different options over here, and I'm sure there's going to be more that are added in the future. But you can create those checklist items, you can create goals, actions, etc. All you have to do is click on one of these and you'll see that this automatically populates over here. So for example, this is creating a list, and then you already have our ClickUp account. You use your resource. So these are all the different resources that you have based off of those 57 different actions. So list is already going to get populated based off of what's over here on the side. You have different actions as well. So you could create something, you could get many, you could delete, a lot of different things there. And then what we're going to do is set up your team or your ID. So I just built out a workspace over there. Just grab that. You have options for folder list or not. And then you can choose a specific folder name. Not if I do folder list, we can just set this up directly in here. You also have additional fields, which you can populate down below. So you can set up assignees, you can set up due dates, priority, status name, etc. We'll go actually through some workflows here in a second associated with it, but these are the native nodes. You have quite a lot of different options around there. The second part of it is triggers. So if you're not familiar, triggers can actually start a workflow. So when there's some sort of action that is in ClickUp, it'll automatically populate the data into n8n and start a workflow. And why this is really helpful is in a lot of different services, you're actually gonna have to set up a webhook because they haven't built out these triggers in n8n. And I don't know if that's the n8n team building this out or that third-party company or they work together, but ClickUp actually did a really good job because there's 27 different triggers. And the difference between a trigger, you'll see the left side is a circle like this, whereas a normal node, you have essentially that square with the rounded corners. You also see the lightning bolt. It says execute workflow. So if we go over to ClickUp once again, and we go to this bottom section, which is hidden down below triggers, you can see all the different ways that you can start a workflow. So someone creates a folder, you can start a workflow. Someone creates a goal, you can start a workflow on a task created or a task deleted. So you can think of this as you have different companies within ClickUp that you're mentoring or you're working with. And then one of your task members creates a task and it notifies them over email, hey, we have just generated this task. We might ask you some questions. A lot of different options out there, but that's kind of like a very basic opportunity. What I wanted to show you is kind of a mini project that I just built out recently. So one of the things I've been seeing a lot of companies ask for is automations based around transcripts. Let's say they have some sort of call with a customer. This could be like an onboarding call, or this could just be a general health checkup call that you might have once a month. They want to take that call and then build out specific tasks associated with it. So how would you want to build out this workflow? Well, the first step would be getting your transcript directly in n8n. For just easeability on this tutorial, what I'm doing is a manual trigger, but you might have some sort of webhook or integration. It's like, okay, we have this call. It's going to auto-populate here directly in n8n. This edit set is literally just the transcript. So again, this would be kind of the first part where you have a webhook from an external application that would bring in the transcript over here. Or maybe you have like a Google Sheet that you save all the transcripts in and you just add in a new row. A lot of different opportunities. The next thing, there's two different ways that we could extract pieces of information from a transcript. if you think there's only gonna be one task per transcript, or you only want one objection, I would use something like an information extractor node. So you'll see that there's this information extractor, and it's really great, but you only get one item as an output. I don't want that. So I'm going to use an AI agent. So you can see like a prompt that I built in here. I said, analyze the following meeting transcript and extract all action and tasks. For each task name, provide a task name, description, and then a priority. So in ClickUp, your priorities over here are going to be based off of numbers. So a little bit confusing at first, but like 1 is going to be urgent, 2 is high, 3 is normal, and 4 is low. So I just defined that over here because our model would not know. Like we say, assign a priority 1 to 4, it wouldn't know that 1 is urgent or 4 is the lowest. So I just add that in as additional context. And I say return only a JSON array of tasks, nothing else. And I pass in that specific transcript. From there, what I do next, and I'll run this for you guys too, is I actually split out the task names, the description, and then also the priority. And then essentially I just create different tasks. So I'll just paste in, here's the name of the task from our transcript. This is the content, and this is also the priority. You have a lot of different fields that you could set up as well. Like if you already know the start date from the call, you could populate that. You have different people that you could notify, the time estimate, like depending on how you want to track your projects and tasks, you can build this out within your transcript to extract this out. I just wanted to do something very basic. I'm just going to run this for you guys so you can see a live example. So hopefully this doesn't mess up. Just show you the output parser. What I have is task name. So just examples there, a description, 5-page document or SQL reports, and then the priority 1 or 4. So this will run really fast and you'll see. And by the way, this task over here, I just generated this directly within Claude. I said, hey, give me a transcript that I'm going to use. So this has been kind of fine-tuned. I wouldn't say necessarily fine-tuned, but it's been built for this scenario. The real world is always going to be a little bit different. But yeah, let's take a look. So what you'll see is this generated one item, and we have all these different tasks. So it says like redesign mobile bottom navigation, implement redesign bottom navigation, create analytics, update API documentation, optimize slow database queries. So these are just a bunch of different tasks, the descriptions associated with those, and then the priority levels. And then all we have to do from there is split these out because this is all one item and these are in arrays. So if we want to have multiple tasks, we're going to have to split those specifically out. You can use that in the split out node. And then you can see that this created 8 different tasks, which is why we have 8 items after. Another really popular workflow, and again, this is a simplistic workflow. Like real world scenario, you're going to build this out a lot more, but this is just for a demo video for you guys. Another one that people use quite a bit is automated onboarding. So you can imagine you have some sort of form, whether it's like an n8n form or somewhere else, and you could set a webhook over here. Maybe you want to create a folder for that specific customer. Then you create a task, and then you send them an email message saying, hey, welcome. Thank you for signing on. Here's your automated email. These are your task items, or whatever the case may be for your specific onboarding. Every company is going to do onboarding in a slightly different way. So one workflow will not do the job for everyone. Some people don't want to send an email. Some people want to send an email. There's different things that they're going to put in an email, different things they're going to put in a task, but a very, very common one. So you'll create a folder in Google Drive. So how I did this is I put customer underscore, and I just copied over this customer as a JSON. Then I created a task. Again, didn't really do anything particular with this task. I just threw this node together for this particular video. And then send an email message. So I just said Lorem Ispam message goes here, and I sent it to this email address. But ideally, you could expand this out and really fine tune this to your onboarding approach. And you could automate this. So instead of going out there and creating a folder in Google Drive, instead of manually sending an email or manually creating something within ClickUp, this could all be done within really seconds or minutes, depending on how complicated your workflow is. Within AI agents, also you can paste in a tool. So when we saw ClickUp on here, you'll see that there's the ClickUp tool. So ideally, all I did is attach this tool. What people tend to do is use a lot of different tools within an AI agent. I know there's the back and forth of like, would you rather have a workflow like this, or would you rather have an AI agent with a lot of tools? Typically, I kind of like more structured approaches and use a tool when I have to, an AI agent. But like I know with a higher confidence, this will work correctly. The AI agents sometimes have hallucinations. So if you want to have something that's more accurate and more repeatable, use orchestration and use AI agents within over here without the tools. But if you necessarily need the AI agent to have a tool, you would build this out. But yeah, you can just go to tool also over here and search for ClickUp. And you'll see it says ClickUp tool, consume ClickUp API. And you have all the different options once again. So you have your resources, so checklist, comments, folder, goal, list, all across the board. And then going down also over here, your different operations. So everything that I showed you essentially in those 57 nodes, you could essentially assign as part of the tool. It's really important that you specify what a tool does. So don't just attach this tool. You see how this is tool description. Define what you specifically want this to do in great detail. Explain what happens if there's some sort of error. You're going to do the same thing within your AI agent. Obviously, like I just have a chat trigger over here to start this out, but really define in your system message, and you'll see your system message, what your tool's purpose are, and like what type of fallback you would want to have if there is a specific error. And if you want to learn more about system messages, I have like I have multiple videos on that, but I would check out the system versus user message. I think it's like an hour, and you're going to learn a lot more about prompting. So ClickUp, super easy to set up with an n8n. As you saw, we literally just have to go in over here. We're going to have to set up this particular token. You know, at first it can seem a little bit intimidating, but it's honestly one of the fastest things that I've connected here in n8n. Some of them can be complicated, like Google. And very common to take transcripts and create tasks from that, something I'm seeing a lot from my customers. Also, automated onboarding is really popular, and you can do this quite easily. You're going to have to extend this out and use other nodes like the Google Suite and things like that, which is a little bit of a higher level, but you could figure that out pretty easily. And then you can assign AI agents. The one thing I was going to mention, and I didn't cover it, but if you want anything custom that is not here and directly in n8n, you're going to use this HTTP request. So the homework side of it, this is what I want to give you guys, whether you're watching this now or in the future, feel free to post this in our school group. We're actually going to make a post associated with this video. So if you do the homework or the challenge, I would love to see you on there. But I want you essentially to create a report in Google Docs by extracting data from ClickUp. So maybe you have different tasks and you want to extract what tasks are going on and throw this into a specific Google Doc. And for this Google Doc, what I want you to do is also convert that into a PDF and then send this as an email. So maybe you just want to give client updates at the very end of the month. You'll look at what tasks have been done or what tasks are on the backlog. You send that over to a Google Doc and you format it, and then you send that over also as an email. That is my challenge for this video. See if you can get that done, and happy to review your workflow after that is built. That is ClickUp. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have other videos you want to see me kind of build connections into or things like this, let me know down below in the comment section or in our school group. We also have a 17-hour n8n course, as well as like, I want to say 80 n8n videos on the channel. So a lot of resources out there for you guys to constantly learn. And if you're a business and needs some help with automations, let me know. I am taking on customers. All right, I'll see you guys in another video.